Hi folks, I hope your December is off to a sweet start. I've got brand new books, brand new series, and brand new sequels for you this week. Ebenezer Tweezer was a terrible man with a wonderful life is the first line of this funny little story. You see, Ebenezer is beautiful and rich and has everything that he wants. But he's also 511 years old. And the only reason he has all these things is because he's had this weird gray blob of a monster living in his basement that vomits out anything he requests, including a potion that prevents aging, anytime that Ebenezer feeds it. And at first it started off with small things, like a nice little roast beef sandwich. But as time has gone on, the requests have become bigger, and let's just say this beast is not a vegetarian. In fact, his latest request is a human child, which forces Ebenezer out of his home into the world looking for said child, and he ends up plucking the very worst from the town's orphanage. And when he brings her home to the beast refuses to eat her. He looks at her and says, "She's too scrawny for me, you need to fatten her up." So now, Ebenezer is forced not only to feed, but to deal with this clever little, tricky little obnoxious girl named Bethany. But he finds himself growing fond of her as the days go by. This book has been called a cross between Lemony Snicket, Despicable Me, and I have to say it reminds me a little bit of Little Shop of Horrors. It's quick and creative, and it's got nice little illustrations in it, and it's soon going to be made into a film by the creators of the Harry Potter films. You'll love the characters who will make you laugh and make you think. Sophie's overprotective parents have been driving her a little nuts lately. So when they tell her that they're driving to Louisiana to spend Christmas with her very pregnant sister, she's stoked to get some time alone before she has to go stay with her very large, very extended Sicilian family. Thinking she's finally going to be able to see her boyfriend Garrett without getting the third degree from her parents, she goes to surprise him with the news, but as she's sneaking up behind him, she overhears him say that he's thinking maybe he doesn't want to be tied down in a relationship during his senior year. She's furious, so she dumps him on the spot, but then she's devastated. And so when she goes to visit her Nonna, the family is determined to lift her spirits. So, since there are 10 days left until New Year's, they decide to fix her up on a date on each of these days. Sounds a little bit ridiculous, but her big Italian family is super into it, and so because of that, it makes it kind of hilarious. It's totally a Hallmark holiday movie kind of book. It reminded me of the Netflix Holiday movie, but it's meant to lift your spirits and make you smile. It's a nice, easy breezy, fun, and holiday-ish read. This book has been described as a cross between The Hate U Give and Just Mercy, which are two incredible books. And for very good reason, Kim Johnson actually read Just Mercy, which is the true story of Brian Stevenson, who was a lawyer who's dedicated his life to getting wrongfully convicted people out of jail and off death row. This story, This Is America, is fictional, and it's told from the point of view of 17-year-old Tracy, who's a budding journalist and spends every week writing to Innocent's ex, pleading with them to reconsider her father's case. He's been imprisoned for a crime he didn't commit, and he has 267 days left on death row. You'd think that would be tough enough, but then her brother, who's a track star about to head off to college, is in the wrong place at the wrong time when a classmate of his is found murdered. He takes off, and Tracy, not knowing what to do, seeing what happened to her father, decides she wants to try to solve the mystery of what happened to this girl on her own. It's part murder mystery, part exploration of racial injustice, our imperfect criminal justice system, and what Kim Johnson said she wants readers to get out of it is to consider what happens to family members when this kind of thing affects them. It's a page turner. It's sure to make you think and keep you intrigued. We all know middle school is tough, but it is even tougher for poor Ross Malloy. He just wants to fit in and find some friends, but just before school started, he was diagnosed with this really rare form of eye cancer. And so now one eye is permanently shut, and the treatments that he's receiving aren't really helping his hairline either. He used to be known as this really funny guy with an awesome trio of friends, but he's quickly learning that not everyone knows how to deal with his changing appearance or the fact that he's now the kid with cancer. It's based on the author's real-life experience, and the story is funnier than you'd think, with little illustrations and just a sharp, quick, witty character who just loves to play the guitar. It's great for fans of funny stories and those who love books like Wonder. This is a first book in a brand new series, and it's all about Gemma, who is an 18-year-old actress, something her parents are really not thrilled about. They're even less thrilled to learn that when she finally does get a role, it's going to take her to Beijing, which is a place she's never been allowed to go to. And she's never understood why. After all, her family's from there. But when she gets off the plane and paparazzi spot her and suddenly flock toward her, she understands. It seems that they are mistaking her for someone she looks just like, a celebrity in Beijing, a socialite named Alyssa. And she quickly learns that the two of them are actually related, which means there are some family secrets left to be uncovered here. It may sound a little fluffy, but it's really interesting actually to see how Gemma's new role forces her to confront the stereotypes of a short-sighted director. So this role that she was super thrilled about turns out to be something she has to reconsider. This would be a great one for people who like books with social intrigue and a bit of romance like American Royals, but it's also a good one for considering the way we view ourselves and our celebrities. This is the second in the Tristan Strong series and a Rick Riordan Presents book, which means it is all about mythology. The first book was all about Tristan, who is this teen from Alabama who found himself on Alki, which is a world where African and Black mythological heroes and gods coexist, and he was charged with saving the world from a hole that was ripped in the sky. It's not quite a spoiler since it's the second one to let you know that he did it, and so the second one starts where he's back on his grandparents' farm. Not for too long though, because a mysterious villain has decided to exact revenge on him and kidnap his grandmother. So he's forced to go back to Alki, which at least reunites him with some of his friends, like super smart Ayana and the really clever and funny Gum Baby. It's a fast-paced adventure that's also good to remind readers that it can be hard to move past a really challenging and traumatic event like Tristan experienced in that first story. But it's also about the power of family and the power of stories. Rick Riordan fans will love it, and we'll have a third one to look forward to pretty soon.